Hello, mis cielitos, and welcome back. Coco is here with Binks, and we are continuing Steins Gate, where nothing bad happened last stream, and it's just gonna be good times for everyone.
Right.
Hello, Sign. Hello, Marco. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming.
Hello, hello. Welcome.
Tenoji, nay. She looks up at me. Her eyes are wide.
And kind of crazy.
Her lips tremble.
That damn vision. Why?
Weren't we just complaining about this last time we watched Bungo Stray Dogs?
Yes, why did they do this? It's such a weird angle. It's so creepy.
It just looks goofy to me, to be honest. Hello, twin. Welcome to the stream.
I saw Mayuri. I wanted to surprise her.
So you pushed her?
It wasn't on purpose. It wasn't.
She stares at me for a few more seconds, as if waiting for me to say something, then turns and runs away.
So seriously, she just pushed her on accident? What the hell?
The platform is in chaos. The PA informs us that there's been a personal injury accident.
Really?
Nae is already gone. I don't go after her. Instead, I peek timidly through the gap between the train and the platform. Oh, do you want to see that?
Right?
Oh no, please don't show it. Oh, okay. One side of the track is a wash of red. My mind is blank.
Oh, at least he knows he has to go back again. What? Like, I didn't know. So she's just destined to die. It's gonna happen accident or on purpose.
Who knows? So yeah, as I mentioned to you, I freaked out at Kudu about this because I couldn't remember it at all. But yes, it was in the anime too. And as she said, it's an accident. She tripped.
Oh my god. Now this poor little girl's gonna be traumatized.
Yeah, when Kudu like explained it, I was like, you know what? That's even worse.
Yeah, that really is. Actually, no, because if she had done it on purpose, she would have been a psychopathic killer. But this is still really sad.
I can't think. I don't even remember how I got back to the lab. Moika's group should have come and gone, but the time leap machine is still here. I guess I should be grateful.
So I'm thinking now, like, is this some like Final Destination crap where like death is always like marked someone and then there's no escape?
It takes longer than usual to set up the machine. For some reason, I have trouble recalling my own phone number. I can't imagine why.
All right.
At last, it's ready. Now, take me back.
As long as somebody doesn't come in here in the stream and say, "You guys, you know, you could have prevented her dying right there, right?" I'm like, dang it, we were supposed to call someone else.
Ruben! I don't know if we're ready for the truth.
Let's stay ignorant.
The leap occurs instantaneously. Titer claimed that his time machine takes 1 hour of subjective time travel to travel 10 years. I don't know if ours has the same behavior, but now is not the time to find out. 10 years. I have no business that far back. Besides, according to Kurisu, time leaping too far into the past could cause mental disorders due to the gap between personality and memory.
Juicy chicken number 1.
Mayuri is singing her chicken song, though she's actually eating pre-cooked chicken from the convenience store instead of her usual juicy chicken #1. She had to switch because she can't warm up frozen chicken in the microwave, which is now a dedicated part of the time leap machine. I was right to come back 5 hours. Mayuri is still in the lab. But what the hell happened back there? It hurts, but I force myself to recall that horrifying scene. Mayuri died again. This time it happened at Shin Ochanomizu Station, a place completely unrelated to the lab or the bomb threat. Tenoji Ne pushed her onto the tracks, where the train tore her to shreds. Could Nae be working for CERN too? No, that can't be right. Nae has a habit of jumping on Mayuri and greeting. She was probably just being her usual affectionate self.
This is why I get anxious when I used to to take the train a lot, and I would see teenagers roughhousing on the platform.
Yep.
I was always like, y'all need to stop. You could accidentally fall or push someone.
That's such a horrible way to go.
Right.
But why did she choose that precise moment? I don't know. I sense malice. Whose malice? It's like fate is playing a cruel joke on us. Whatever the case, all that matters now is that I have another chance. I need to act. I have the power to save Mayuri. I will do whatever it takes to find a way. This time we hail a taxi in Chuodori. It'll be expensive, but that hardly matters now. Mayuri comes along quietly. I consider taking her home to Ikebukuro, but Moeka's group might be watching her house. I have no idea where they are at this point in time. Instead, I asked the driver to take us to Shinagawa. However, the traffic is unusually heavy. The driver says it's never been this bad before. There must be an obstruction up ahead, an accident or something. That's the only explanation I can think of. We've made it out of Akiba, but at this rate it will take forever to reach Shinagawa. I considered getting off here and taking the train, but then I remember what happened at Shin Ochanomizu Station. I have a bad feeling about this. The traffic jam could be CERN's doing. I look out at the window and scan the crowd for anyone who might be a CERN agent. 3 hours later, we're still stuck.
You're still... Damn, aren't they gonna charge you an arm and a leg for that?
According to a conversation I overheard between our driver and another driver, there's some kind of inspection up ahead. Furthermore, it doesn't seem to be a police inspection, and a small fight broke out at the inspection site or something. To make matters worse, this road has already been closed off, and all the cars behind us are being detoured. There are only about 100 cars waiting, but the inspection has been at a standstill for 3 hours. This can't be a coincidence. Once again, I feel the malice of fate manipulating the situation. Is Mayuri going to die again?
Alright, place your bets, guys. How's she gonna die this time?
This is like Lynn.
Right? I'm becoming desensitized now. That's not good.
If I'd known it was going to turn out like this, I'd have ditched the taxi hours ago. It's not too late. I should pay the driver and get off right. Just then, someone knocks on the window.
Oh my god, it's freaking Moeka.
Her taxi is stopped in the middle of the road. What's going on? I look over, but before I can say anything, a man opens the rear door and gets in next to Mayuri.
Huh?
He's holding a knife.
Oh my god, in my brain I was like, oh, she's been shot, she's been hit by a car and hit by a train, so all that's missing is a stabbing. And oh my god, he has a knife.
Another assassin! It's Binks! Mayuri, look out! Before she can reply, the man covers Mayuri's mouth with a large, meaty hand. I try to open my door, but it's locked. Only the driver can open it from the inside.
Then why was her... Oh my god, yeah. Why was her door open?
Mayuri opens her eyes wide. Her body twitches. What? It all happens too fast. The man sinks his knife into Mayuri's chest. A bright red spot stains her clothes.
Right in front of the driver, they don't even care.
They're like, I'm getting money for all the time we're sitting here. I don't have to worry about that. What?
Look how it says men who stab Mayuri. I can't even take this seriously anymore. Oh my god. I literally, like, it's so sad and serious, but at the same time, it's becoming comical. Y'all need to stop. I can't. Be quiet, Okabe Rintaro.
Another man gets into the passenger seat.
Is the cab driver in on this? That's, like, what?
I guess he is. He points a gun at the driver and says something to him. Strength drains from Mayuri's body. Her eyes slowly close. A tear rolls down her cheek. I watch her die inches away, powerless to stop it. I can feel her last breath against my skin. They killed her again. Why? Why? Why can't I save her? Why won't you let me save her? Who decided that Mayuri must die? Moeka? CERN? Or does the world itself wish for Mayuri's death? I won't accept that. I clench my jaw and throw myself forward, driving my forehead into the killer's nose.
Ugh.
He falls back. I shout to the driver, "Open the door!" I crawl out of the taxi and take off running through the traffic jam. I guess not.
I guess the driver's like, well, what the hell? What about me, man?
After running for hours, I make it back to the lab. Luckily, the time leap machine is still there. Hello, Zuni. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming. Mayuri seems like she might beat Lynn in terms of number of deaths.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Lynn had 5 so far, including the one that we messed up. It's been 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, she's at 5 right now. So
Yep.
neck and neck.
Yep.
I have to leap again.
I mean, he's gonna be screwed if there's a time that she dies and he can't get back to the time leap machine.
Yeah. Every time we run, Mayuri dies.
Then this time you fight back.
6 hours into the past, I clutch my head and rack my brain for an answer.
Make a Rube Goldberg machine to defend you guys.
I feel like I've hit a dead end. What do I do if we can't run away? Is there no way to save her? No, there has to be a way!
What you talking about? Your impending doom.
Mayuri's blank stare is the only answer I get. What?
I guess to his own question, but that was just the timing was a little weird.
This time, I take her to the closest police station and beg them to protect her.
Yeah, I said that ages ago, but it's probably not gonna work.
When I asked why, I explained that someone is going to kill Mayuri 6 hours from now, but without any proof of that, there's someone after her. They have no choice but to turn us away.
Oh, that's bull.
It's past 6 by the time we leave the station, and we're left with no choice but to keep running. I wish that I could blame my previous failures on bad luck. We could try Ochanomizu or Shinbashi again, and maybe this time she won't die. But I don't have the courage to try those routes again. At the same time, we can't stay in Akiba. We're running out of options. Subways, trains, and taxis, all out. Attempting escape by those means will get Mayuri killed, so my heart tells me. Perhaps the fear is irrational, but I can't put it out of my mind. I've seen her die half a dozen times already. Shot, stabbed, torn to pieces. Torn to pieces? Oh, I guess that was a
Just the
train.
train.
Yeah. Hearing that just makes me think of dogs, and I was like, what the hell?
Right.
I can't go through that again. We take refuge in Yorobashi Camera. I thought we could keep hiding there indefinitely, but just after 7 we hear an explosion in front of the station. Yorobashi goes into chaos. Policemen appear and start evacuating the store. When I try to explain our situation, an officer shouts terrorist and pulls out his gun.
What?
This can't be happening. This isn't America. Oh my god!
Wow.
Wow!
They have their like recap storyline. We gotta do it.
Japanese officers don't shoot at anyone without provocation.
Wow.
Clap for that one. Mayuri dies.
Shot by a cop. Oh my gosh.
It happened so fast.
Some random trigger happy cop. I can't believe this.
The policeman shoots her right in the head.
What the frick?
I don't know if he was a real policeman or a CERN assassin in disguise. It doesn't matter. So she's officially beat, Lynn now.
Yep.
I can't deny it any longer. The world itself is killing Mayuri.
That's insane.
This time, I don't leap into action immediately. Instead, I sit on the couch and collect my thoughts.
How is he not like really severely brain damaged after all this leaping?
Mm-hmm. Every time I try to save Mayuri, it ends in the worst possible way. To make matters worse, I no longer even know what I'm supposed to be saving her from. Cause and effect. Why does Mayuri die? At first, I thought it was Moeka and her hit squad, sent by CERN to steal our time machine. But as I leapt back in time again and again, the cause of Mayuri's death kept changing.
Wouldn't it be the machine itself?
At Shin Ochanomizu Station, she died because Nae pushed her off the platform. CERN had nothing to do with that. It was an accident. Each time I leap, she dies a different way. What does that mean? I've been thinking for an hour, and I'm no closer to an answer. I want someone to tell me, but who can I ask?
Maybe the genius friend you have?
I'm the only person in history to leap through time. No. There's one more. John Titor. But he's not replying to my emails anymore, and he hasn't posted on that channel in days. I'm not even convinced he's a real time traveler. I decide not to run this time. Instead, I take a different approach. Strike first. I sent Moeka an email. I need to talk to you about our time machine. Meet me alone. I designate the roof of Radikan as our meeting place.
I'm surprised they're able to go up there. That's crazy.
Right? 2 weeks have passed since the satellite crashed, but it's still there and the building's still closed. At least the security has lessened, so it's easy for me to sneak in. Not that there's any sneaking to do. I just walk in through the front door like I belong there. No one questions me. Last time I came here was for Dr. Nakabachi's presentation. Of course, on this world line, the presentation was cancelled. Naturally, there's nobody here but me. It occurs to me that this is a dangerous gambit. Moeka might have a gun, and I already know that she's willing to use it. But then, I don't intend to play fair either. We're supposed to meet at 5:30. It's just after 5. I came early in order to ambush her. I hide in the shadows and wait with bated breath. About 30 minutes later, I hear the door open. Moeka makes her entrance alone. She looks around restlessly.
I ain't gonna fall for that cute face no more.
She still hasn't noticed me. I take a gun out of my shirt.
Where'd he get the gun?
It's not real.
Oh. I was like, what?
It's the future gadget number 1, the bit particle gun. It's just a toy ray gun with a remote control attached. Obviously a bluff, but all I could prepare on such short notice. I run up behind Moeka and shove the bit particle gun into her back. Don't move. Hands up. Just like a Hollywood movie. But this isn't a movie. This is real. And she isn't an actress. She's a murderer. After Moeka raises her hands, I feel through her clothes.
Oh my, maybe that scene I saw earlier was, this.
Sure enough, she's carrying a gun. I take it from her and press it to Moeka's back in place of the bit particle gun. Sorry to disappoint you, the first gun was a toy. Talk. I know you were sent by CERN.
How?
How? You want to know how? My frustration and rage boil over. Because of her. Because of her, my Yuri. I came from the future, that's how. You think I'm lying? I've repeated the last several hours a half-dozen times already. I've lost count of how many times exactly. And I haven't slept at all the entire time. Oh, Christ.
Yeek.
Strangely, I'm not tired at all. I know what you're planning. Around 7, you're going to stop the trains. Moeka gasps. So it was their doing. I also know that you're planning to attack the lab, you and your men. And then you're going to kill my Yuri. Understand, I'm a time leaper. Moeka nods faintly. I could kill her now. It would be easy. But no, I need information. Who are you people?
Rounders.
Moeka answers with surprising obedience. I guess she values her own life, even though she has no problem depriving other people of theirs. Rounders? What does that mean? How are you related to CERN?
By email.
No! Speak!
The Rounders are an organization separate from CERN. Covert operations. We don't exist.
Like a private army.
No. Our mission is to find and acquire IBN 5100s. They send us around the world. We collect them.
IBN 5100s. That's right. When I met her, she was looking for an IBN 5100. These days, they're near impossible to find. People will pay millions just to own one. Is that because CERN has been hunting them down? How many Rounders are there? Answer me.
I don't know. I'm just an agent.
So she's not important enough to be told. And was it you who stole our IBN 5100? Moeka doesn't answer. Why does CERN need IBN 5100s? To keep hackers out?
Maintaining secrecy is the highest priority for CERN.
What are they hiding? We already know they've killed hundreds of test subjects with their time travel experiments. We didn't need an IBN 5100 to find that out. Are you saying that the IBN 5100 database has information more sensitive than that?
I don't know.
Because you're just an agent. My tone is sarcastic, but Moeka nods. Damn, she's useless. Why did you attack the lab? Or rather, why will you attack the lab?
Isn't it obvious?
Because we hacked into CERN?
3 reasons. First, because of what you know. We were ordered to silence you.
So CERN did know about the hacking.
Second, for the time machine. The one you made.
They want our time machine. CERN must be trying to monopolize time travel technology.
Third, the reason it happens today. You plan to make your time machine public.
How does she know that? We made that decision right after the time leap machine was completed. That was only a few hours ago.
That's why I was ordered to take you in.
Take us in? You killed my Yuri!
She is unnecessary.
Unnecessary? I nearly pulled the trigger.
Okabe Makise Hashida, you made the time machine. She is expendable. Those are my orders.
And after you take us in, what then?
CERN will hold you prisoner, force you to complete their time travel research.
Have you done this before? How many lives have you ruined for CERN's research?
I do as I'm told.
I was a fool to consider you my friend.
I live for CERN. I live for FB. I'll do anything if FB tells me to.
FB? Is that the name of her supervisor?
Okabe-kun? Is it you? Are you John Titor?
What? John Titor?
There's no one else it could be.
Me? I don't have time for this. I dig the gun into Moeka's back. If you want to live, you call your friends, call FB, cancel the attack. Moeka shakes her head.
I don't have the authority.
I don't care! Find some way to stop the attack. Otherwise, I'll kill you. I can't do it. I'm not a killer. My hands are trembling just like Moeka's were before she shot Mayuri. Why did you kill her? She was hesitating. She didn't want to pull the trigger, but she did. You didn't want to kill her, did you? So why?
Just obey. FB.
Then bring that son of a bitch here. Moeka shakes her head again. I don't care about your authority if you don't do what I say.
I can't. I've never...
Something hard stabs into my back.
Oof.
A chill runs through my body. There's someone behind me.
Drop the gun.
A man's voice. Is he with Moeka? You lied, Kiryu, Moeka. I'm ready to pull the trigger in cold blood. We promised to meet alone.
She's a evil killer? Why are you surprised?
Moeka doesn't answer.
I said drop the gun.
I'll give you the time machine. Just don't kill anyone!
Even if you do that.
Even though I'm still pointing the gun at her, Moeka steps away and turns to face me. Her eyes are cold, her expression unreadable.
You'll still be held prisoner. Forever.
Moeka takes the gun from my hand. I'm unable to resist. Please. I'm sorry about the hacking, just please don't kill anyone! Oof. Something strikes the back of my head. My legs give out instantly, sending me to the ground. Darkness creeps in.
Uh-oh. Target B in custody, requesting pickup.
Deep down, I knew. I can't save Mayuri. Even if Moeka's group doesn't kill her, someone or something else will. The world itself wants her dead. That is the choice of Steins Gate. Steins Gate? There's no such thing. Those words have no meaning. It's just some nonsense I made up to sound cool. Steins Gate doesn't exist, but fate does. Fate, God, the will of the universe, an absolute force that no one can resist. It exists, and it has sentenced Mayuri to death. I wake up in the back of a station wagon. The windows are coated with black film, so I can't tell where we are. I feel a throbbing pain in the back of my head. My hands are tied behind me. What time is it? How long have I been unconscious? There's a man with me inside the car. I recognize him from a previous time leap. He's the one who stabbed Mayuri in the taxi. The man seems to have noticed I've woken up, but he doesn't speak. He just waves his gun menacingly as if to say that there's no hope of escape. The dashboard clock reads 7:30. I looked out the window again. Through the film, I managed to make out a street sign. We're close to the lab. Has the attack already happened? Before I left, I told everyone, including Mayuri, to run. If she did as she said, she won't die by their hands. But that doesn't mean she's safe. If I don't do something, Moeka's going to take the time leap machine away. What will happen then? CERN can have the machine if it will save Mayuri. Problem is that it won't, not when the world itself is determined to kill her. As long as the time leap machine remains in my hands, I can keep trying to fix things. I'll leap again and again until I've found a way to save her. But if I lose the machine, then the future is decided. A future without Mayuri. I have to get to it before they do, even if that means I might get shot. As long as I survive to reach the time leap machine, everything will be alright. My bound hands limit me to headbutts and kicks, but I somehow manage to knock down the man guarding me and escape. My chest and neck are covered with blood. I must have been shot during the struggle, but thanks to the adrenaline pumping through my body, I barely feel any pain. I can still move. That's all that matters. I run up the stairs with my hands still tied. I can only pray that I'll be able to operate the time leap machine quickly enough. Mayuri, Kurisu, and Dado are in the lab.
So y'all didn't run like he told you to, okay.
So are Moeka and her men. When I open the door and burst in, everyone looks at me in surprise.
Oh, Kareem.
When she sees my tattered body, Mayuri runs up to me with tears in her eyes. Wait! I try to stop her. In the corner of my eye, I see Moeka take aim at Mayuri. I try to put myself between them. I try to cover Mayuri with my body. But a man grabs me from behind and pulls me back. I watch helpless as Mayuri's tiny body drops to the floor.
What is this? Time number 8 now?
7 or 8.
7 or 8. I'm like losing count now.
Her eyes, wide and wet with tears, seem to stare into mine. But I can see that they have already lost their light. She's gone. Again. Again. Again! What happens next is the same as before. Suzuha defeats the Rounders and Kurisu's helps me time leap.
I don't know how he's gonna get out of this. This is crazy.
A flood of sounds beats on my eardrums. When it subsides, I find myself again in the lab. It's just before 5. I have 2.5 hours before Mayuri dies. I find myself staring at the time leap machine. This thing is the reason for Moeka's attack. If only we had never built the phone wave. If only we had never sent those D-mails. Perhaps the future might be different, instead of the nightmare it promises now. Would anything change if I broke it, just smash it to pieces right here? In a rush of delirium, I grab a chair and lift it high over my head. Just as I'm about to bring it crashing down on this infernal machine, a voice cries out.
Stop! Okabe, what are you doing?
Kurisu grabs my arm and pulls me back.
Are you trying to break the machine? You don't have to break it, Okabe. We already decided not to experiment, remember? Anyway, put the chair down.
I lower the chair slowly, on top of the time leap machine! Not because Kurisu told me to, but because I realized what would happen if I really did break the machine. It caused or will cause Mayuri's death, but at the same time it's also my only chance of averting that future. If I lose it, I lose my only hope of saving her. The fear of that outcome stayed in my hand.
You look pale. What's wrong? Tell her everything. I'm sure she could come up with something, Brew. Are you listening?
I can't deal with this. Not now.
Wait.
I flee from the lab. I don't have a particular destination in mind. People look at me strangely as I shuffle down the street. I imagine I must look like I crawled up from the grave. Soon I get fed up with the crowd around the station and escape to the pedestrian overpass. I get about halfway across the bridge and squat down on the concrete. The giant screen on the UPX building is advertising some gothic punk band. The ticker at the bottom displays today's weather forecast along with the date and time. I realize that today is Friday the 13th.
Oh boy.
Is there no way to get through today without Mayuri dying? It's already 5:30. 2 hours until the attack. The lights around Akihabara Station turn on one by one as the sun sets. The moe might be gone from Akiba, but the area around the station is still as posh as ever. I don't belong here. The bridge I'm sitting on has become a date spot for couples. I see them standing here and there, gazing at the cityscape with their arms wound around each other. Somehow, they never seem to tire of the dull, unchanging scenery. What am I doing here? Mayuri's about to die.
Hey, don't you think you're a little too old to be sitting on the ground in public?
Well, that's a great image.
She's cute.
I lift my head and see Kurisu standing there.
So, this is where you went. I've been looking for you.
Christina.
What?
What time is it now?
5:38. Hey, if you have time to sit around, then you can help me with the shopping.
Shopping. Oh, right. Preparations for the party. In the original timeline, I went shopping with Kurisu at the UPX supermarket. Give me 1 second, shouldn't take too long.
Okay. Gosh, guys, this game is crazy. I hope you're all doing well today.
Okay,
Welcome back.
thank you. And then we talked on this bridge, just like now. It feels like so long ago. Back then, I had no idea what was about to happen.
Well, are you going to come along or not?
I sighed deeply. Hello, Jeffrey. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming.
I don't know if you saw what we were talking about before, that that game Rain Code is only on Switch, and I'm like really sad about it.
Oh, no.
Because you know that's the
The-
Danganronpa people.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize it was only going to be on Switch.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll change their mind later, but you know how Nintendo be.
I don't believe that it was wrong to time leap. However, Kurisu. I keep my eyes lowered.
That's the first time you've said my name properly.
Alright, something serious must be going on. What's going on here, Okabe?
Right?
I feel her eyes on me. Help me.
Finally! You should have asked her ages ago.
He's been panicking all this time.
I know. He's not thinking straight. And he's probably slightly prideful. But come on, man.
And also intensely sleep deprived no matter what he says.
Right?
Oh god, I cannot even imagine going through all that shit without a single respite.
Ugh.
I can't save Mayuri alone. I realize that now. Reliving today again and again, only to taste the same despair each time, has taught me one important lesson. Alone, I am powerless. Alone, I have no hope. Help me.
Tell me what happened. I know you used the time leap machine.
What? I look up in surprise. Kurisu doesn't meet my stare. Instead, she leans on the guardrail and gazes down at the plaza with her usual frown.
You get a phone call, and suddenly you're like a different person. It was obvious.
I came from 3 hours in the future.
What happened?
They killed Mayuri. I lower my head, trying to hold back the tears. Then I explained about CERN and Moeka and about how Kurisu herself activated the time leap machine and made this possible. I tell her about my previous leaps. I explain that the world itself wants Mayuri dead, that I can't save her no matter how hard I try. I keep talking for 30 minutes straight. During that time, Kurisu hardly says a word. It's all my fault. Talking to Kurisu lets me sort out everything I've done, everything I've seen. I shouldn't have told Daru to hack CERN. I shouldn't have asked you to build a time machine. I shouldn't have made Moeka a lab mem. Mayuri's death is all my fault.
So here's a thought. So we made sure that we're on the true path for the, true ending and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to do that, we bonded more with Kurisu. So then I'm wondering, this part here, it might not have happened at all if we hadn't bonded with her then.
I'm not sure. I think...
I'm just wondering. I'm like, maybe she wouldn't have cared enough to follow after him, and maybe she wouldn't have helped him.
Because, I'm trying to figure out... I guess... I feel there's a difference between, maybe character routes and story routes. But I really don't know. Yeah, I've just got the responses that you need to get. And I think it has more to do with... I don't know. It could be so that we wouldn't get this.
Yeah.
Hello, Vap. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming. And
Hi.
burgers. That sounds tasty. That's why I needed to bear the burden myself. I was resolved to do whatever it took to save Mayuri, never faltering, never giving up. And yet my resolve has already crumbled.
If you know that Mayuri's going to die, then what are you doing wasting time here?
Kurisu's tone is haughty. Is this how I sound when I'm playing Yoin Kyoma?
Yeah.
I just don't get it anymore.
What don't you get?
How to save Mayuri.
Based on what you said, I guess the chronology protection conjecture is true.
No matter what I do, Mayuri dies.
And that's why you keep time leaping. There's no guarantee that the machine is safe, you know.
Kurisu lowers her gaze and cups her chin, as she often does when assessing a problem.
Even if the machine works perfectly, repeated use may have serious side effects. For example, you may become disconnected from causality itself. You need to understand the risks if you're going to continue.
Disconnected from causality, meaning...
It happens all the time in sci-fi. You'll become trapped in a closed time loop, never aging, never dying, but doomed to repeat the same day for all eternity. Worst case, you may cease to exist entirely.
I don't know, I think being trapped is worse than that. At least there's an end to that.
Right?
What?
Every trace of your existence will vanish. Nobody will remember you because your life will have never happened. Leaping through time is that dangerous.
Humans are temporal beings. Kurisu looks surprised.
Hi, Digger. I was thinking of that quote too.
I heard it from you first.
When?
This isn't the first time I've leaped.
Right, of course.
Kurisu squats next to me, thinking deeply.
If what you said is true, then I want to save Mayuri too. But as the co-creator of the Time Leap machine, I can't recommend its continued use. Will you listen to my advice?
Nah. I can't do it alone. I know that now. I need your help. I have to save Mayuri. I can't do it alone, but together we might have a chance. I need to believe that. Please, lend me your strength. Kurisu sighs.
You're such a stubborn fool. What you've been through, I'm surprised it hasn't broken you already.
Incredibly, she sounds concerned about me. She looks at me for a moment, then turns away as if embarrassed.
I'll help. Mayuri's my friend and a fellow lab mem. But besides, I don't want to see you in such pain.
I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. Remember when I told you about my father? You really helped me out back then.
Guess that's a sign that, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, this is a different scene. I think the music might be the sign of it too.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's my turn to return the favor. I want to be your strength. Besides, you still have to come with me to Aomori.
She smiles, a wry but gentle smile, as if I were her mischievous younger brother.
I know you're going to leap no matter what I say. You are a mad scientist, after all, and mad scientists play by their own rules. Hey, aren't you supposed to go mwahahaha or something?
Yeah.
Why do I even try?
Kurisu is right. I'll do anything to save Mayuri. Kurisu stands up and looks at her watch.
There's not much time. I think you should have a clear plan before trying to change the future again.
Meaning...
Leap to an even earlier time. Then explain the situation to me again. Yep.
Kurisu's right. My actions so far have been almost entirely random, and look where that's gotten me. I need a real plan if I'm going to save Mayuri.
Let's go.
Kurisu stretches out her hand. I grasp it and pull myself up. Mayuri and Daru are already back when we return to the lab. Suzu is there too. To get rid of them, Kurisu and I explained that we forgot to do the shopping, so could they please take care of it for us? I have to cough up the money to convince them to go, but it works.
I understand why you can't tell Mayuri, but why can't you tell Hashira?
I'll tell him when it's necessary. For now, it's not, and I don't have time to explain. While Kurisu sets up the machine, I head downstairs to the brown tube workshop, kick the door open, and turn on the 42-inch CRT. That went more smoothly than I anticipated. It's highly illegal, of course, but I'll leap long before the cops get here. Kurisu looks shocked when I return to the lab.
They'll throw you in the slammer for breaking and entering.
In a few seconds, it won't have happened. Kurisu hands me the headgear and I put it on.
I see. That's how it looks from your perspective.
What
What
does
does
it...
it look?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. What does it look like from my perspective? What happens here after you leap?
You'll know soon enough. My consciousness travels to the past. That I know from experience. But what about the body I leave behind? If time is a straight line, then it's likely that the present will be reconstructed based on my actions in the past. But if the many worlds interpretation holds, then after I leave, this world will continue on as if nothing happened. I used to be so fascinated by the structure of the universe, but now I don't really care. All that matters is saving Mayuri. Kurisu's fingers stop typing on the keyboard. What's wrong?
It's nothing. I was just thinking. Maybe it works like a D-mail. Oh, no, that's you.
Maybe it works like a D-mail. The instant we send a D-mail, the present changes around us. Thanks to reading Steiner, only I remember what it was like before the change.
That would make things easier, though I kind of hope you're wrong.
Because you can't collect data if you can't record the change.
Exactly.
Kurisu nods and begins tinkering with the settings again.
I set the destination to 5 hours ago. You should arrive around 1:40 p.m. I completed the time leap machine just after 2. Do you remember?
Barely. For Kurisu, that happened only 5 hours ago. For me, it feels like weeks. Maybe it has been weeks.
Nobody likes a man who can't remember dates. Be thankful that I make a habit of checking the time. I have a pretty good idea of what happened when.
Kurisu finishes typing and turns to face me.
Listen, Okabe. If you're going to keep using the time leap machine, there's one thing you must remember. Don't let go of your phone. Ever. It's your lifeline, your destination marker. As long as you keep it with you, you can leap to any time you want. But if you lose your phone, if someone else gets a hold of it,
And if I leap to that time, my memories could overwrite theirs. I don't want to imagine what might happen next. Oh, I wonder if that's a bad ending we can get.
yeah, that feels like a sign. Hey, sign, it's you. No. If it breaks or the battery dies,
Then I won't be able to leap to that time. If it breaks, then I can get a new phone with the same number, but there will still be a period of time to which I can never leap.
the time leap will fail. Once again, never let go of your phone.
Got it. Let me just take some time to sew it onto my skin.
Right? But then that time he got hit by the car, I was like, oh man, he's actually okay. And now I'm thinking, man, his phone could have been destroyed then.
Mm-hmm.
After you leap back to this afternoon, just sit tight and don't do anything until I complete the time leap machine. If you accidentally prevent me from completing the machine, it will likely wreak havoc with the timeline. As soon as I finish, declare that we will not experiment, then send everyone home. Ask me to stay. Tell me the truth. If you say you came from the future, I'll probably believe you.
How do you know?
Who knows me better than myself?
Kurisu grins faintly and stands up after she's done typing.
Don't forget, it was my mad skills that turned the phone wave into a time leap machine. When you told me about your time leap, I took it as proof that my theories were right. I was happy it succeeded. I really was. I didn't doubt it was true for a second.
I see.
Just to be safe, I should probably give you a passphrase. What I want the most right now is my own fork.
What?
It doesn't mean anything, okay?
You want your own fork?
I already have my own spoon. Wait, that doesn't matter. What? I'm so lost, girl.
I think, like, she has her own... She just wants her full set of utensils here at the lab, maybe, so she can feel like she's fully a member. That would be my guess.
That'd be cute. Everything's ready. Now get out of here.
I nod and call up the phone wave name subject to change.
Be careful, and remember, I'm always on your side. For some reason, I thought she was going to be like, may the force be with you, kind of thing.
Hello, Ruben. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming.
Ruben's here. Uh-oh, we're going to find out something.
Time we got as in left on the stream, we got an hour left. And we've been through several more Mayuri deaths, and finally opened up to Kurisu about what is going on. So now we're leaping back even farther. We're leaping back to 140, just a little before she completed the time leap machine. I lie back on the sofa with my phone in my hand. Needles in my brain. A whining in my ears. These sensations never get any easier to endure. I look at the clock. It's about 1:45. There's a high school baseball game on the TV. In about 15 minutes, Kurisu will finish the time leap machine. All it needs are some final adjustments, so there's nothing for me to do but wait. As the pain in my brain subsides, I realize that my head is throbbing. Why? Oh, I remember. Right before this, I had an argument with Mr. Brown in which he introduced his fist to my skull. Mayuri is at her sewing machine working on her costume. Dado is at his computer collecting moe artwork from the internet. Kurisu is in the development room upgrading the time leap machine. I sit motionless as the minutes tick by. Suddenly, the sound of the sewing machine stops.
Okarin, can you come here?
Mayuri shows me her costume.
Can you hold this for me? Spread it out like flop. Oh no, the flop thing. No.
Mayushi, say flop again.
Flop.
I got a flop.
Stop it, perv. Ugh, his nose.
I follow Mayuri's directions and spread the costume out by the sleeves.
Huh. Okay, thanks.
Mayuri looks a little tired. She was working on this costume all night. But then she smiles brighter than the sun.
All done.
I said something here, didn't I? What was it? I can't remember.
I finished before Chris-chan. You're racing. You win, Mayuri. Congratulations. But I'm finished too.
Kurisu finishes connecting the two cords she's holding.
Complete.
Alright, that's my cue. We're not experimenting.
Huh?
Crap. Was that too soon?
I just finished and you're already shutting it down. What I have been doing for these past 3 days?
Time leaping presents a host of problems. I want to consider them all carefully.
Huh, that's an unusually respectable opinion coming from you. Problems? I thought it was done.
I'll explain later. Everyone's tired, so let's go home. We're not going to have a party to celebrate? We'll do that another day. I managed to convince Daru and Mayuri to leave. I lent Mayuri my phone charger since we use the same brand of phone. Is that a good idea?
Oh my gosh, she literally just told you don't let your phone die.
Kurisu tries...
You didn't do that before, right?
I don't know. Kurisu... I mean, I guess he wants her to make sure that she has something since we still have the problem of, you know, it's still the same day in which the attack is going to happen, but that's dangerous.
Oh, God.
Honestly, I think a better idea would have been to just give her money to buy a charger and, like, tell her to make sure to buy one.
Yeah.
Kurisu tries to go home too, but I quietly keep her back.
What?
Are you upset?
Yeah.
Probably because I shot her down right after she finished the time leap machine. She'll feel relieved later, but only after she has time to fully consider its implications. I came from 5 hours in the future. Kurisu spears me with a piercing glare.
Is that supposed to be funny?
Her narrowed eyes make me believe that looks can kill. Don't glare at me like that. This isn't right. You're supposed to believe me.
What made you think I'd believe something like that?
You told me so 5 hours from now, okay?
Don't be ridiculous. I would never make such a baseless projection.
I'd like to have a word with future Kurisu. If this is how you're going to be, then leave me no choice but to quote you word for word. When I told you about my time leap, you said I took it as proof that my theories were right. I didn't doubt it was true for a second. Don't forget, it was my mad skills that turned the phone wave into a time leap machine.
I don't talk like that.
What you want most right now is your own fork.
What?
Kurisu's face suddenly turns red. You already have your own spoon, apparently.
She said that? I'm gonna kill myself 5 hours from now. Dang. He doesn't understand, okay? Calm down, girl.
She appears genuinely shocked for some reason, but I'm pretty sure she believes me now.
It feels like someone peeked into my heart, and that someone is Okabe of all people.
What does she think I'm going to do?
But I think I believe you. Tell me the details.
I explain everything to Kurisu again. I'm able to organize my thoughts better since this is my second time.
I see. If what you say is true, then we have a serious problem.
There are 5 hours until Mayuri's death. We need to come up with a plan before then.
Future me said that the chronology protection conjecture holds, but I don't think that's quite right. That conjecture says that according to quantum theory, time travel is impossible due to the danger of disrupting causality.
Future me is so stupid.
But when you time leap, there's no chance of a time paradox occurring.
2 of me don't exist at the same time, and I can't bring anything with me to the past. All that changes are the memories stored in my temporal lobe. So at the very least, time leaping can't cause a grandfather paradox. So I was right. The universe itself is censoring me, correcting any changes I try to make.
If that's true, then time leaping can't save Mayuri. Nothing you do will change the result.
I can't accept that.
Neither can I. The world is trying to kill Mayuri. As a scientist, I refuse to believe such nonsense.
What about the many worlds interpretation? I just need to observe the world where Mayuri doesn't die.
The many worlds interpretation. That might have something to do with how Mayuri's means of death keeps changing. But it's supposed to be impossible for parallel worlds to observe each other. Why are you different?
Because of my Espra power, reading Steiner.
This is no time for your Chunibyo nonsense.
There's no other explanation.
You've mentioned that reading Steiner thing before. Are you actually serious? I think, didn't he mention, was it 2 streams? I don't remember. Where he mentioned, like, that time that he had a serious fever and, like, he almost died? And I can't help but think that maybe that's what activated his reading Steiner power.
Interesting thought. Why would I make up something like that? You know, I was about to say I also got a temperature of 104 Fahrenheit once. Where's my reading Steiner? I'm like, you know what? I'm fine. I'm fine. I don't need that.
Yeah, it would be a little confusing. You're like, I'd rather not be the protagonist. Thanks. Their lives are very stressful and dangerous.
Yes.
Just have me be a NPC in the background.
Why would I make up something like that? Our Demo experiments prove that I can somehow perceive changes in the timeline when they occur. It's an ability only I seem to possess.
I don't know, but I don't want to rely on something that may not even exist. Anyway, you can't control which possibilities you observe. Even if the many worlds interpretation holds true, it's unreasonable to expect that you'll ever find a world where Mayuri doesn't die.
Wait, we're not getting anywhere. Instead of analyzing what I've done, let's think about what we can do.
Time leaping won't change the result. I just said that. Would a D-mail be different then?
Then what do we do?
Calm down.
I am calm! How can I calm down? Do you know how many times I've seen Mayuri die?
How many times when somebody says calm down does it actually work?
It doesn't, because it's a really dismissive thing to say. It's very rude.
Yeah.
Covered in blood, gasping for breath, the light fading from her eyes, again and again and again. And all I could do was watch. I hear my teeth grinding in my skull, recalling that despair, that feeling of utter powerlessness, makes me want to lash out at everything within reach.
Getting emotional won't solve anything.
You're only calm because you weren't there.
True. I don't know what happens 5 hours from now. To be honest, it doesn't feel real at all. But it's not like I don't believe you. You have to stay strong, Okabe.
Kurisu pats my arm. Her hand is warm and her touch is gentle. How American of her.
What? Only Americans are allowed to pat someone on the arm to comfort them?
I think it's just because in Japan, I believe they just aren't very touchy.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of propriety to be observed.
But come on, Europeans are touchy too. I think they're a little more touchy, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
I have such an anti-American personality in this game.
Honestly, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Especially the ACAB moment before.
Oh, that was hilarious.
I'm gonna have to clip that.
Yes,
We're
please.
done. Sorry. She's right. Getting emotional won't solve anything. I need to calm down. Calm down. What I don't understand is how the cause can change, but the effect can stay the same. It's like causality itself is broken. Yes, Vap, there was an ACAP moment earlier that was absolutely beautiful. I'll send it to you once we're done streaming.
Oh, yep. Maybe Kiryu Moeka shooting her isn't the real cause of her death. Maybe it's something larger and less obvious. For example, maybe she dies because we invented a time machine, or because Saturn discovered our hacking. Yep. If that's the cause, then it doesn't really matter how she dies. Causality remains intact.
And that theory explained why Naya pushed her in front of a train.
Oh, right. That was effed up. Anyway, the principle of causality is absolute. Deny that, and you deny all of physics. There must be a distinct cause for Mayuri's death.
So if we figure out what it is, then maybe we can save her.
I'm getting a feeling like a sad ending is approaching, where like he realizes he has to not be in her life in order for her to survive, maybe? I've seen movies like that. Where they're
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's the best thing for them.
Yeah, that's how the butterfly effect ended, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very sad. Not necessarily.
What do you mean?
The problem is when the causal event occurred. Oh, I know. When she was in the rain at the graveyard. Like, that would be the moment, because that's when he did his whole "you're my hostage" thing.
Ah. Ruben asks, "Oh, I missed. What's your opinion of Naya accidentally pushing her?"
That was horrible.
So yeah, I'd completely forgotten about that. So I was blindsided. And I personally think in a way that's worse than if it had been intentional, because now we've got poor freaking traumatized Naya. But,
If it happened too far in the past, then there's nothing we can do.
But I can travel to any time if I had a cell phone, can't I?
No, it's still theoretical, but I believe that one leap with our machine has a maximum range of 48 hours. Oof.
48 hours? I can only go back 2 days? Why didn't you tell me that before?
Before what? I just finished the time leap machine, remember?
That's true. Future you didn't say anything about it either.
Oh, so that's what you mean. Maybe she just didn't have the chance.
So how come I can only leap 48 hours?
I don't know. Even I don't understand everything that's going on inside that thing. But you can do consecutive leaps, that is, as long as the time leap machine exists. For example, if the time leap machine remains functional for 10 straight years, you could leap back to this moment 10 years from now. Of course, it would take a total of 1,825 leaps. Ugh. So I don't recommend it.
Imagine.
Still, it's theoretically possible.
Imagine a migraine compounded 1,825 times. His brain would explode.
It really would.
Then what's the problem?
Weren't you listening? I said as long as the time leap machine exists. When was the machine completed? Exactly, an hour ago. August 13th, 2010, 2 p.m. or thereabouts. It didn't exist before then. It's impossible to use the machine before 2 p.m. today.
So what you're saying is, count 48 hours back. I can't go back farther than 2 p.m. on the 11th. Kurisu nods, her expression grave.
Most likely.
Can't you improve it?
Eventually, maybe, but certainly not now. I'd need a real laboratory with real equipment. It would be expensive, which means we'd need sponsors. And if we go looking, I'm pretty sure CERN would crush us. I'd say that's proven by the fact that neither you nor I have leapt here from the far future yet.
So basically, we can't do anything? Even with the time leap machine, we can't stop CERN from killing Mayuri 5 hours from now. At that moment, I hear a sound from outside the window.
What the hell?
What? Is it Moeka? Did she overhear us? I dash to the window and look down at the street. It's Suzuha.
Oh yeah, because they always talk too loud and she can hear them.
Her bicycle has fallen over and she's scurrying to pick it up. Our eyes meet. Huh? Why does she look so pale? Her lips move slightly. It looks like she's whispering something, but I can't make it out from here. Hey! I call out to Suzuha, but she leaps on her bike and zips away. She's acting strange. I smell a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Moeka was a spy. Could Suzuha be the same?
No, I think she might be the only one who can help at this point.
It's too dangerous to trust anyone. Suzuha has exhibited suspicious behavior, though not as much as Moeka has. She's openly hostile towards Kurisu, and she was able to take down CERN's hit squad single-handedly. I wonder if this missing father of hers really exists. Could he be the John Titor who's been posting on the internet? What is the meaning of the name Beryl Titor? Instinct tells me that she knows something. I dash out of the lab.
Hey, where are you going?
I know I don't have much chance of catching her on foot, but I have to try. There's something going on here. This is a completely new sequence of events. According to my memories of the future, Suzuha is supposed to remain at the Brown Tube workshop until 6:30 this evening. But when she overheard me talking to Kurisu, she suddenly took off like a bat out of hell. This has to mean something. Suzuha's already out of sight, but when she left, she was headed for Chuodori. I wonder if her phone's on. Maybe I should try calling her. Come to think of it, this reminds me of something. On the day she failed to meet her father, she disappeared without a word. Just an email saying bye.
So, is it gonna call her, or do we have to do it now that he was like, maybe I should call her?
Good call.
Oh, it left you.
Suzuha, I need to talk to you.
I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
What?
All because I acted like a spoiled child. This time, I'm going. Bye.
Hey, Suzuha, wait! It's happening again. She's going to disappear. Last time I lost sight of her near the station. I search up and down Chuodori, but find no trace of Suzuha or her bike. I have to be careful. There could already be rounders here in Akiba. I comb the area around the station's main exit, but there's no sign of her anywhere. I lost sight of her here before, so I thought she might be close by. Maybe I should corner her on my next time leap. Press her for answers before she can escape. I'd better get back to the lab. I start walking away from the station, but just then, the people around me gasp and point. Everyone's looking up at the sky. No, not the sky. The satellite embedded in the roof of Radikan.
Of course.
Why now? It's been there for 2 weeks. It's practically a landmark now. A very dangerous landmark. But everyone looks like they're seeing it for the first time. So I turn and look up too. Wha? The lights on the satellite are blinking.
She's running!
Is
Oh my
someone
God.
inside? Who? Suzuha, or could it be Moeka? The satellite has remained silent through all of my previous time leaps. What has changed? Obviously, the fact that Suzuha overheard my conversation with Kurisu. Previously, I lost sight of her at the station. In other words, right next to Radikan. Suzuha must have been up there. Everyone's staring at the satellite. This is my chance to sneak in without being noticed. The shutters are half open, just as they were when I confronted Moeka. I summon my courage and crawl through the crack. When I get inside, the first thing I see is Suzuha's bike lying on the floor. So it is her. What is she trying to do? What is that satellite? How is it related to John Titor? Is it even a satellite? Nobody knows for sure.
She's an alien, bro.
I checked online. No satellites fell out of orbit that day. When they do, whether by accident or design, they usually burn up in the atmosphere. It's impossible for one to land in such perfect condition. So what is it then? A jolt suddenly runs through my body. Could it be a time machine? There's only one way to know for sure. I need to get there before Suzuha does something. The elevator and escalator aren't operating, so I bound up the stairs 2 at a time. My lungs gasp and my legs burn, but I force my body to carry me up to the top. There's the satellite, lodged in Radikan's roof. I notice wires holding it in place. The police must have done that so it wouldn't fall. There's a hatch open on the side of the machine. I see someone moving inside. Suzuha! The person freezes when I shout. I run to the satellite. Could you take over Suzuha?
Sure.
Okabe Rintaro.
Suzuha turns to me with a sad expression. Behind her, I can see the interior of the satellite. It's surprisingly simple without the switches and buttons you'd expect. Instead, there's a black box the size of a desktop PC. There are numbers on the screen. 2010, 813, and below that, 1975, 813. Suzuha reaches out to press a button.
Ow!
Sparks burst from the panel. She jerks back, her fingertips burned. What are you doing?
It's not working.
You know how to use that thing. She doesn't reply. I see her shoulders sag.
It's not working.
Those sparks had to be from an electrical short. My eyes are burning from the smoke. Answer me, Amane Suzuha. I swallow hard and ask the question. This is a time machine, isn't it? Are you a time traveler? With her head hung low, Suzuha nods.
I'm John Titer.
Not surprised.
You nearly got it.
Face.
There's still a big crowd outside, so we exit the building on the side facing away from the station. Suzuha has come down a bit, so I start pressing her for answers. What do you mean you're John Titer?
Exactly what it sounds like. I'm the John Titer who's been posting on @channel.
I thought he was a guy. Suzuha smiled humorlessly.
I fooled you. Guess my camouflage worked then.
Who are you hiding from?
CERN.
Those stories you posted, were they...
True. Mostly. A few exceptions.
It's those exceptions that bother me. So you came from 2036 in that satellite, and that's your time machine.
I was hoping you wouldn't find out, but my time machine went and broke on me. I really screwed up, huh?
I thought Titer's time machine was loaded on a Chevy.
Chevy? That's a car, right? Where'd you hear that?
The Titer in 2000 said so.
2000. That might be me on a different world line. At least I haven't been to 2000. I came straight here from 2036.
So it was someone else. It's true that Titer never posted in 2000, not on the current world line. It doesn't matter. I can worry about that later. And what do you know? I press Suzuha for answers, trapping her between me and the wall so she can't escape.
Did he do a kabedon?
You overheard my conversation with Kurisu, right? Why did you run to the time machine? What were you trying to do?
Got a question for you, Coco.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about, like, time traveler romance? Because technically she's much, much younger than him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But because of time travel, maybe their ages are, I guess, closer. It's just weird.
It is a little odd, but I think what matters is how many years they've actually experienced. So even if she is from the future, she's existed for how many? I think she's 17. I can't remember her exact age. But yeah, she's approximately the same age as Okabe. So I don't think it's weird, because for me, it's largely about the mental maturity of people.
Yeah. Okay, good. Interesting. I thought it was my fault.
What?
Because I neglected my mission, CERN was able to put their plan in motion. Is it true?
Suzuha suddenly grabs my shoulders.
Is it true that CERN killed Shina Mayuri?
It's true. I time leaped from 5 hours in the future.
Time leaped.
Okay, Ruben says that she's 18.
Oh,
Okay.
that's good.
Or she said she was 18 when she introduced herself. Okay. I knew it was approximately the same. Couldn't remember the exact number.
So you guys completed your time machine.
I need answers. What do you mean it's your fault? Suzuha bites her lip and looks away.
I'll tell you everything. I think you need to know. You and Makise Kurisu.
Kurisu? Why Kurisu? I guess I'll find out if I let Suzuha talk. We should head back to the lab. But first, I offer Suzuha my handkerchief. She looks at me for a second, then takes it and ties it around her burned hand.
Thanks.
We should probably see a doctor about her hand, but there's no time for that. Mayuri's death is approaching. I just hope she's not in too much pain. I wrap a towel around her hand to keep people around us from staring.
Welcome back, Ocarine. Oh, Suzu-san's with you too.
When we get back to the lab, Mayuri and Daru are there for some reason. I thought I sent them home. Mayuri gives me a ditzy answer when I ask them.
I really thought we should celebrate the birth of Super Phone Wave-chan. So Daru-kun and I went shopping.
I should have known she wouldn't stay away. Kurisu looks as worried as I am. She leans close and whispers into my ear.
What do we do?
Make absolutely sure Mayuri doesn't find out. Kurisu nods slightly. What are you guys whispering about? How many times do I have to say it? No party!
Come on, Ocarine, that's no fun.
It's not about fun. I glance at Suzuha. She still looks depressed.
Suzu-san, are you feeling okay?
Suzuha, Christina and I have important matters to discuss. That's why I asked you to leave for the day.
Mayushi wants to hear too.
I think he's serious.
But Suzu-san looks sad. Mayushi's worried. Sorry.
Suzuha hangs her head and bites her lip. I know she feels responsible for Mayuri's death. But how is she related? And that's what I'm here to find out.
I want Shina Mayuri and Hashira Itaru to stay. This concerns them too.
If Suzuha says so, then I have no objections. But I quietly pull her aside and remind her not to tell them about Mayuri's impending death. Then I quickly explain Suzuha's true identity, that she posted on @channel as John Titer, that the satellite is really a time machine, and that she came from the year 2036. A girl from the future? That's awesome! Can I shake your hand? We're not playing around here, Daru.
What year were you born? 2017. That's in 7 years. You haven't been born yet, but you're here. Huh?
There's no time to deal with Mayuri's confusion. Alright, Suzuha, let's hear it.
Well, the gist is what I posted on at channel. I came from the future, the year 2036. In my time, the world is a dystopia ruled by CERN. There's no war, no conflict, but no freedom either. Dystopia? A society where every activity is controlled by the government. In dystopia, you're not allowed to eat bananas unless today is banana eating day. Oh, that's gonna affect my beauty. It's like, yeah, that sounds like hell!
And that's what causes her to, like, power up and just murder all the CERN agents.
Right? If you break that rule, they throw you in jail without a trial. Either that or, like, threaten to take her chicken away. She's like, no! How dare you? That's terrible! But you should love bananas.
Forget about the bananas!
I'm part of the resistance fighting to free humanity from CERN's control. I came to the past to change my present. From your point of view, I guess I should say the future. To change the future.
Change the future. She doesn't sound like she's joking.
What about finding your father? Was that a lie?
Suzuha doesn't answer.
Is Okabe her daddy? That would be weird. End of shipping.
Oh god. Does that mean it was a lie?
CERN is a research institution. They don't have political power. I explained that to John Titor several times online.
Online? Wait. Don't tell me. You're Kuri Gohan and Kamehameha.
Both? I thought it was one, not both. Damn, girl.
Well, I think that was like one single name. It's super long.
Oh, okay. And I was about to say she wants to have two identities online. Okay.
Kurisu turns red and looks away.
Titor came forward, so it's only fair that I do too.
In that case, I'll come clean too. I was posting under my true name, Hyoin Kyo.
I know.
Ah, you harmonized.
Suzuha frowns. She must not like having anything in common with Kurisu. She clears her throat and continues.
CERN is still a research institution in 2036. The world is actually ruled by CERN's secret backers, the Committee of 300. What, all these are chuny names, okay? Rounders and this Committee of 300. Come on. Bunch of chunies.
The Committee of 300? They're real? The name was in CERN's top secret documents.
When CERN successfully completed their time machine, they became the sole entity with power over the fourth dimension, time. In just 2 years, they remade the world to serve their purpose.
In just 2 years? That's only in objective time. I bet CERN's time travelers spent many decades leaping back and forth across history, building the foundation of CERN's rule.
That brings us to you, Makise Kurisu.
Guys, please stop talking about it. Suzuha glares at Kurisu. In 2036, you're apotheosized as the mother of the time machine.
Apotheosized? No, apotheosized?
In Japanese, please.
Apotheosized, as in revered, respected.
She keeps using unusual vocabulary. Oh, maybe that's just normal vocabulary in 2036.
Respected, huh? I am?
In 2010, you pioneered time leap technology. Afterwards, you contribute to the development of CERN's time machine. That's what I know about Makise Kurisu.
Is that why she treats Kurisu like an enemy?
But wasn't she being forced to, maybe?
Then I must be the father of the time machine, right?
Okabe Rintaro is a terrorist in 2036. You're pretty infamous.
Nice. Seriously? I'm a terrorist in the future?
But against CERN, so I guess that means you're the good guy.
I helped CERN build their time machine. I don't believe it. CERN experiments on people against their will. They're a disgrace to scientists everywhere. I would never collaborate with them. And that's how it is in the future.
How did the future me explain herself?
We've never met. By 2036, you're already dead. Sorry.
Well, that's just great. We don't even make it to 50?
In my time, there are two kinds of people. Those who live extremely long lives, and those who die young under suspicious circumstances. People who act against CERN are erased.
They erased me?
Suzuha looks into Kurisu's eyes. For once, she's not glaring at Kurisu.
Maybe you were being used by CERN too. Maybe they took your parents hostage and forced you to work on their time machine.
That's what I was thinking, something like that.
No. Does that mean Mama's in danger?
Kurisu's mother is in America. It's not terribly difficult to imagine CERN kidnapping her while Kurisu is away. After all, I watched Moeka kill Mayuri in cold blood. Rounders. What's that? CERN's private army or something like that. Suzuha nods.
On paper, they're an independent technology research firm. In reality, they do the dirty work for CERN all over the world.
According to Moeka, they have two chief duties. First, to acquire IBM 5100s, the only computers that can access CERN's database. Second, to find promising scientists in the field of time travel and force them to cooperate with CERN, or eliminate them if they will not.
So they already exist. I thought they might. In my time, they're our #1 enemy.
It's dirty work. Does that mean, like, kidnappings and assassinations? Suzuha looks to me with a question in her eyes. I shake my head.
In my time, yes. But I don't think they've reached that level in this time yet.
Daru is visibly relieved.
Mane-san, you said that most of what you posted as John Titor was true, right?
Right.
Does that mean you know how the universe works?
You claim that the Everett Wheeler model, the many worlds interpretation, is correct. That was a lie, camouflage so that CERN wouldn't target me. If I mix one lie into the truth, then the bad apple spoils the barrel. So you don't know? I do. By 2036, scientists have successfully modeled the structure of the universe, and it's not the many worlds interpretation. Really? Tell me.
Attractor fields.
Right, I told you by mail, didn't I? What sort of model is that? The universe is made up of world lines and attractor fields.
Suzuha walks over to Mayuri's sewing table and picks up a ball of red yarn. She holds one end of the yarn and drops the ball to the floor, then holds about a meter of yarn in front of her face.
The universe is like this piece of yarn. Countless possible world lines exist side by side, branching out to infinity. From a distance, it looks like a single string, but when you look closer, the string is actually made up of individual threads woven together. At the end, those threads converge on a single point. The paths are different, but the destination is the same. Isn't that determinism?
Determinism, the school of philosophy that states that every event is predetermined by previous events. The past determines the present determines the future. Even though we may think that we are acting of our own free will, in truth, we are only following a predetermined path. Those who subscribe to determinism often cite the thought experiment of Laplace's demon, for an intellect which at a certain moment would know all forces that sets nature in motion and all positions of all items of which nature is composed. Nothing would be uncertain, and the future, just like the past, would be present before its eyes. Pierre-Simon Laplace.
Close, this model's a little looser. You could say it cherry picks from the many worlds interpretation and the Copenhagen interpretation.
If the branches all lead to the same place, does that mean there's only one world in the end?
Exactly. The bundle of world lines that share a point of convergence is called an attractor field. There are also many attractor fields. This string is attractor field alpha. The threads are alpha world lines.
Suzuha then cuts meter lengths of blue, yellow, and white yarn.
Blue is beta, yellow is gamma, and white is delta. Each is made up of countless beta world lines, gamma world lines, or delta world lines.
She twists the different color strings together, then stretches them out as one fat multicolored string.
Attractor fields are superpositioned like this. In each attractor field, the world lines converge on a different result. They don't interact. Each attractor field is independent of the others. Of course, they all diverged from a common point somewhere in the past, and they will all converge again at some point in the future, but that takes many hundreds of years. You can think of the attractor fields as very long world lines.
Can you compare it to an eroge? Teach me, O erotic one.
Stop. There's no erotic one here.
No, he's right. It is like an eroge. Each heroine's route is an attractor field, and the small choices within are the individual world lines.
Yeah, I think eroge is like another term for like otome games, right?
Well, specifically, I think it's, yeah, those
The
types.
rock one.
Yeah. But at the end, they all enter the true route for the grand ending. Maybe this goes back to what we were talking about before. The only difference is that the length of the common part. By the way, I'd choose that little sister's attractor field. Oh, stop. Stop.
No.
Stop! Whatever.
You guys are hopeless. Better do something quick. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Just ignore them.
Let me get this straight. The reason I can't save my Yuri is that her death is the event upon which this attractor field converges.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But that means the world really is killing Mayuri. But then, isn't it impossible to change the future? It always converges in the end, right? No matter what you do, the result is the same. That's right. That's why Mayuri dies no matter how many times I leap.
We have to escape Attractor Field Alpha.
Escape.
In other words, we're going to jump to a world line in Attractor Field Beta.
Oh, Coco.
Yes, Binks?
This is triggering memories of other games I've played that you haven't. And I'm like, oh, she needs to play those.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I thought attractor fields couldn't interact. Attractor fields are normally separate, but if we go to the instant they diverge... The instant they diverge. Is that now? I was taught that a major divergence occurs in 2010. This year, an earth-shattering event causes divergence at the attractor field level. The last time such a divergence occurred was in the year 2000, and before that in 1991.
Binks can't say on stream, since then that would be giving me hints for said games.
Yeah.
What happened those years? Events that changed the face of the world. Huh?
1991 was the collapse of the Soviet Union, right? But what happened in 2000? 2001 had the 9/11 attacks. It feels weird to see that mentioned in a game.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure there are probably a lot of games that do mention it, but I think this is the first time I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
The year 2000 problem.
Y2K? But that was just hype. Nothing happened. Oh, Y2K? But that was just hype. Nothing happened.
That's because the alpha world line we're on represents a world where Y2K didn't occur.
Holy crap! We're going to one where it did happen?
Oh man, that would be...
That means, like, all the computers, everything went to zero, right? Because they couldn't count past the... Oh my gosh, that would be like going back to a world where there's, like, no technology, right?
I mean, it's so hard to imagine because it didn't happen. And, God, I remember when that whole panic was happening as a kid. I was, like, so young that I couldn't really understand it. And I remember seeing a Time for Kids magazine that was talking about it, and I trivialized the situation so much because one of the ways they tried to depict it was that they had this illustration of a kid trying to buy an apple at a store, and the cash register said like 9,999, and I'm just like, can't you just do the math on your hand or on paper? Oh. So in other words, there are worlds where it did occur.
And that brings us to 2010. Did something big happen this year? What else could it be?
Suzuha looks towards the development room.
The creation of humanity's first time machine.
Oh, yeah, wow.
One more question.
Hujisuki is plowing ahead. I guess that's what makes her a scientist.
These world lines aren't parallel worlds, are they?
No, ultimately, they're just possibilities that exist simultaneously.
Then how do you observe the differences between world lines? Wouldn't you need a god's eye view to do that?
Normally, however,
Suzuha looks at me. Don't tell me. Reading Steiner!
is that what you call it?
Okaberin Taro, you have the power to observe changes across world lines, correct?
Yeah.
That's the key.
Should we end it here?
Alright. Didn't notice the time. Alrighty, but yes, this is our time to wrap things up. Let me just see what Ruben said here real quick. Suzuha said there's only one world, meaning only one attractor field in world lines is real. Other world lines are simply inactive possibilities, meaning as of right now, those previous world lines of Mayuri dying don't exist. Not yet, anyway, considering apparently the attractor field will make her die anyway. See, that's one of the things back when they were, believing that the, multiple world line theory that was always worrying me, because that would mean that in all those instances there was Okabe still left behind to experience all that, and that's just horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sort of horror that you just see in all those media that address sort of uploading memories or to like another self.
Yep.
But thank you to everyone who came on by. We really appreciate it. And if you saw the bot earlier mention the Discord, I'm not sure why it's not linking it. I did put the link to be in that mention, the Discord, but you can see it in the description as well. That is a server that I share with Kudu. Together we are 4 pixels, and there's a lot of activity that goes on there. Right now I'm also doing a watch along every Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. EST of the original Mobile Suit Gundam from 1979. We do various activities there and always have our schedules up. So if you would like to join us, everyone is welcome. Take care, and we will continue Steins Gate next Sunday at 1 p.m. EST.
Yes.
Toodaloo!